Good morning YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about Catasetum orchids and similar kinds of orchids that take different care and different seasons to get them to grow and bloom properly. So in front of you I have bloomed my Catasetum planiceps, and it is finally, it took me a couple years to get it to bloom. It was a rescue. I paid a whopping $5 for this guy, but it did quite well. The original bulb it actually lost after it grew this one. I grew this one last year and it never bloomed for me, and then I grew this one this year and yay, I have some blooms on it. So check this out. It's kind of interesting, and if you look, my wife did something funny here. She put a little face on it with some eyeballs, and it actually kind of looks like a face. It looks like a little alien face. It's just what it reminded us of, and the eyeballs made it perfectly funny. So there is my planiceps orchid, Catasetum. But anyways, the care for these guys is a little bit different than regular orchids, and I have a few different types of similar orchids. That's my only Catasetum here. I have my Millennium Witchcraft, which is doing quite well. I've had this for a couple of years now. I bloomed it last year, or rebloomed it last year, and it takes the same sort of care. I have this guy here, which I got last fall, and this is let me check here on these tags. It is a Cycnotes orchid. So very same care. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Very similar care though to Catasetums, and this is my brand new one. Just got it. It looks a little bit ratty. Came from H&R Orchids. I got it at our last meeting. But it's starting to get some new growth down there, some new roots, so that's kind of cool. And this is my Cycnotes Barthorum. This one is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to this one. And this one was the Wine Delight. I'm looking forward to that one as well. So to get these guys to bloom right now, summer care, I'm giving this guy with the lighter leaves, Cattleya Light. He's up on the south wall of the greenhouse as high as he can go in with the Cattleyas. I was doing the same for the Millennium Witchcraft here, but he actually started turning really yellow, like an unhealthier yellow than this one. So I took it down, and it seems to nicely have turned back to a nice green color, but I was worried there for a while. I'll raise this up, maybe you can get sort of a more aerial view of the foliage. So a good way to tell if it's getting enough light is, we just want it to be a light green, not too yellow, not too dark. This one here, my new one that's got a bit of tattered leaves, I've been keeping that one a bit lower because it is new and I don't know what kind of light it needs for its growth period. And this one here, because it is in bloom with the little smiley face, it has been on the lower shelf. As soon as the spike developed, I put it right into the shade and tried to keep it a little bit cooler, but it was growing up top with Cattleya Light as well. So these guys, they have a really interesting growth cycle. After they're done flowering, and after the bulbs mature here, the plant is going to actually start to go dormant. It's going to lose all its leaves, and you're going to end up with a back bulb on it just like this. So for the winter time, they kind of just look like this, and you stop all watering on them, and it's just super easy. I have them in a very open mix, not much moss in there. I find they really soak up the water easy. The roots themselves get almost waterlogged like too fast, even though it's just bark. You can see they look kind of wet, and there's no moss really in there. So anyways, I don't use much moss in mine. This one here has a bit of moss on the top. I let him go really dry. As I say, he's growing really quite warm and bright right now, but you can see a couple years worth of old bulbs. So I'm hoping that this one, it looks like it's going to have to drop its leaves before it blooms, and it will actually bloom up the stem, where this one here blooms as it has its leaves. And yeah, so you just have to remember bright light, just enough to tint their leaves a little bit of a lighter green color. Move them down lower when they're about to bloom, when you see a spike. And for the winter time, it's perfectly natural that they drop their leaves at some point anyways. These guys are pretty much on the same page for their growth points, but you'll find some will drop their leaves sooner than others. When they drop their leaves, don't water them until new growth appears. So anyways, that is a really quick video on Catasetum orchids and their kind. I'm really not an expert on them. There's people who have far more Catasetums than me. But I just like to dabble in them a little bit. I like to dabble in all kinds of things just a little bit. It's fun. I did do a video on my Millennium Witchcraft when it was out in flower. This one here, it has nice black flowers on it, really cool. And I will definitely do videos on these guys. The Wine Delight I'm looking forward to. It's going to be sort of a red color. And the way the growth is maturing and the amount of light I'm giving it, I really hope that come fall when it drops its leaves, or come late summer, I'm going to see some spikes appear on that as well. But anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you like this video. A few tips and tricks. Again, I'm not an expert, but this is just how I grow mine. And if you want to see more videos like this, updates on them, see them when they're in bloom, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching.